Hi everyone, welcome to Queen of Truth. Here we discuss real life matters. Here we talk about spiritual aspect of life, physical aspect of life, the emotional aspect of life. You expect to sit down here. Today's topic is going to be on silence. Silence is not making a sound. Silence is being uncommunicative. Silence is being unexpressive. Silence is not speaking or making any sound at all. That is silence. Sometimes it's good to be quiet, and it is bad sometimes. Most times people keep quiet even when they need to speak up, even when they need to say something, they will keep quiet. That's why I said sometimes it is good to be silent and sometimes it is bad. When it's bad is when you really need to say something and you don't say it. Sometimes being silent is you avoid drama by being silent. We avoid drama by being silent, which is good. God sometimes can direct you to be silent in a situation. He will direct you to be quiet. But people take that for granted. People take quietness or silence for granted. They feel because you're quiet, you're a weak person, or because you're quiet, you don't know what to say, or you don't know how to go about the discussion. No, but you're quiet because maybe you want to hear from God first before you voice out. Okay? So most times people mistake silence for weakness. Both the strongest person and the weakest person can at times go silent. Yes, God can direct you to be silent. Because if you're not quiet, how will you hear when God is talking to you? God can only speak to you when you're quiet, when you're silent. When we meditate, we stay silent. When we pray, sometimes we go silently, we pray silently. So when you meditate, when you're in a quiet place, when you're silent, meditating, God comes to speak to you. God speaks to you at that point in time. God does not come in a noisy environment. God always visits you when you're silent, when you're quiet. God does not work in a noisy environment. He works in a very calm environment, in a very quiet environment, because he has a still little voice. So he needs you to hear him whenever he's talking to you, whenever he's referring to you. So if you want to hear God or hear your guides, your spirit guides, your guardian angels, you need to be silent. You need to be quiet in order to hear from them. They don't talk to you in a noisy environment. So silence is very, very important in our life. Silence helps us hear God. It helps us meditate. You can't meditate in a noisy environment. Silence allows your brain to process emotion rather than suppressing it. Silence helps you to process emotions. Silence gives you mental clarity. Silence helps you concentrate. If you don't concentrate, how will you know that God is talking to you? How will you know when your guides are talking to you if you don't concentrate? Silence helps you to be creative. Because when you're quiet, you think of ways in which you're going to do something, or maybe ways that you can do something and it will work out for you. It helps you to be creative. Silence enhances your awareness. Yes. Silence does a whole lot for us. Silence provides tranquil space, promotes a sense of peace. How do you stay silent? How do you stay silent? When you meditate, you're silent. Silence is healthy. Importance of silence are it helps you meditate, it helps you focus, it helps your health, it gives you self-control, self-awareness, it helps you journal, it helps you write. You cannot read in a noisy environment. Silence helps you read. Without being in a quiet place, you cannot read. Sometimes you need the opportunity to be quiet, to be silent, to be in a serene environment in order to just hear your breathing, in order to just hear God's voice. Silence is important in our life. Silence helps you hear God. It helps you hear your angels talk. It helps you hear when your ancestors are talking to you. It helps you promote peace. Silence gives you peace. Sometimes it is good to be silent. Sometimes it is not good. Because you can't say you want to be silent and then people cheat on you. People do some things they are not supposed to do to you. Know when to be silent and know when to talk. You don't keep quiet when you need to talk. You don't keep quiet when you need to speak out. When you need to speak up. You don't keep quiet. Silence is outer stillness. It is through silence that we will be able to hear God's voice. Silence is the language of the soul. It is the language of the soul. It is the language of God. Silence is the language of God. God speaks to us through quietness, through stillness. It's only when you're quiet, when you're still, that God will come to you and talk to you, because he knows that you will be able to hear him. If he's talking in a noisy environment, you won't hear him. So silence is important in our life. The Spirit always whispers to us. Divine always whispers to us. Source always whispers to us. God always whispers to us. But it's only when you're quiet, when you're silent, that you can be able to hear him. So you see why it's important to be silent at times. That's why it is good to be quiet at times. Being quiet in a relationship, you need to speak up. You need to say the right things, say the right words. And you're quiet. It means you don't cherish the relationship. If you cherish your relationship, you'll be able to express yourself in that relationship. You don't keep quiet. Like I said, silence is good at times, not all the time. Speak up when you need to. When you have a problem, speak up so the people will be able to help you. Don't keep quiet. When you need to express your emotion, speak up. Don't keep quiet. You need to say how much you love someone. Speak up. Don't keep quiet. You cannot express yourself when the person is dead. You can only express yourself when you are alive. So always speak up when you need to. It's only when you're silent that God can speak to you concerning your situation, concerning your problems. If you're always in a noisy environment, you're always in a busy place, there's no how God will be able to talk to you there. God can only talk to you in a serene environment, in a quiet environment. Always make a time each day to be quiet. Make a time each day to be silent, to hear from God, to hear his voice. Either through meditation. Silence heals our soul. It makes us whole. Always discern when to be silent in order to hear God. We speak when we pray, but when we meditate, we listen. That is stillness.